What up, folks? It's your pal, Coach Vino, and this is the Glass Half Full podcast where we turn setbacks into comebacks. Let's go.
Yo, 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 everybody goes through setbacks, but don't let these setbacks make you take a step back. Step back from the situation, put your brush down, envision the picture you're faith in, because everybody goes through setbacks.
All right. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Coach Vino, the people's bartender, and your certified coach from the Boogie Down Bronx. Hope everybody is doing well today. Today I've got a banger, a real banger, at least one that I have been wanting to talk about for some time. And it's based around one of my favorite little phrases to state to folks. And it's this idea that you encourage what you tolerate. All right, so this was gonna hit home for a lot of people, and a lot of people who might be in denial. Those who might be at a state of realization and they just kind of, it's going to hit a little closer to home. But I just want to say that again. All right. You encourage what you tolerate. Okay. What you allow people to do in your life, the things that you allow yourself to do, you're giving it a stamp. You're giving it an endorsement. Right. It's like stamping the passport. Yeah, you can come in. And what you put up with, the things that you tolerate, that's going to become your standard. Whether that's in your relationships, whether it's in your professional life, or in just how you treat yourself. All right, I want you to keep in mind that what you tolerate isn't just from other folks. It's what you tolerate of yourself. Okay, so when we're talking here, we're going to talk about this from a very broad perspective. Okay. All right, so let's unpack this bad boy here, okay? How many times have you let something slide that you really wasn't messing with, but you let it slide anyway? Maybe, you had somebody at work dump all their work on you again, right? And instead of calling them out and saying, yo, my man was good, you kind of just sigh. And then you roll up your sleeves like a good little boy and you do it. Right? Or maybe you got that friend who always shows up late to important functions or just to grab a drink, and you're sitting at the bar by yourself for like 30 minutes. And you stop just saying anything about it because, that's who they are. But here's the thing. Every time that you stay silent, every time you let someone cross a boundary without any consequences, then what you're really doing at that point is you're signing a silent agreement that what they're doing is acceptable, that their behavior is good money. You're saying to them, yo, go ahead, treat me this way. Go ahead, don't worry about it. Treat me like shit. Treat me like a second-class citizen. Treat me without consideration, without compassion. And once that becomes the foundation for your relationship, for the relationship agreement, don't be surprised when it keeps happening. Right? But here's the kicker, like I said, is not just about other people. This also applies to how you treat yourself. Okay, I want you to think about this for a second. What habits do you have that you've tolerated, that are holding you back? I mean, it could be as simple as just hitting the snooze button too many times in the morning, right? But it could also be things like saying you're going to start a diet, and every time you just, I'm going to start tomorrow, and then, you don't do it. Or every time you say you're going to start a business or you're going to look into starting a business and you get cold feet, you don't even start the work. Or maybe you're just lazy. Or the most famous one, I'm going to start going to the gym next week. I'll be honest, I've done that. I've been that guy. But that was the old me, right? Because I've got the awareness. And this is what we have to help you to develop. Awareness. Procrastination, negative talk, self-talk, unhealthy coping mechanisms, these are all things that thrive because you tolerate them and you don't have the awareness to do something about it. When you allow yourself to live below what is really your potential, then what you're saying to yourself is, this is okay. This is enough. But let's be honest here. Deep down, you know it's not enough. And you know you deserve better. Because you are better. We all are. We're all so much greatness in all of us. It's not even funny. But you've got to start treating yourself like it. You've got to have respect for yourself. Have some respect. Throw some respect on my name. Shout out to the Birdman. So how do we stop tolerating the things that aren't serving us? How do we stop these habits? How do we stop letting these things slide? How do we raise our standards? Well, like I said earlier, it starts with awareness. That's how I got there. I had these things I knew weren't serving me. And eventually, I snapped my fingers. I don't know if you heard that. I don't know if the mic picked it up. But eventually, it all stops. Right? But you've got to get real with yourself and ask, what am I putting up with that I shouldn't be? Where am I settling? What boundaries have I let slide? And once you've identified what those areas are, that's when it's time to sit and think to yourself, okay, I got to set some new rules here. And here's the thing. Setting boundaries isn't about being, like mean or confrontational. It has nothing to do with that. It's just about being clear. It's about saying, this is what I need to thrive, to be happy, to be joyous. And I'm not going to accept anything less. Because even though you tell yourself that, it's just the way it is, that's just the way they are, it doesn't mean that you've accepted it to the point where you're happy about it. You've resigned yourself to it, right? It's like someone who loses their leg for whatever reason, and they go, well, that's what it is. Doesn't mean they're happy about it. You ask anybody that's an amputee or some shit like that, they'd rather have 2 legs, 2 arms, of course. But they don't have a choice now. You have a choice. You understand what I'm saying? You have a choice to make yourself happier. So, for example, if you've got that friend who's always late, you can say, yo, man, I value our time together. I fucks with you. I love when we chill, but I feel like you don't really value my time, man. Like, I feel like, you're kind of disrespecting me. And I know you might not be doing it intentionally, but you got to understand, like, I'm sitting here like an idiot at the bar, waiting for you. If it's with yourself, then you got to set non-negotiables. You got to say to yourself, I'm going to wake up every day at 6 a.m. And I'm not going to hit the snooze button. I'm up. No snooze option. Or you say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to set 30 minutes a day to work on my goals. And there's nothing that's going to stop me. But you need to hold yourself accountable. And here's the beautiful thing. When you stop tolerating all this nonsense, everything's going to change. People are going to rise to the occasion, or they're going to fall away. Either way, you're better off. I'm sorry to say. And as for yourself, you'll start to feel more empowered, more disciplined, and more aligned with the life that you truly want. And I'll be honest with you, this isn't going to be easy. This is not going to be easy, because you're going to find yourself in situations where maybe it puts a strain on some relationships. But if these relationships can't honor you, then I'm sorry, they got to go. They got to go. And if you can't honor your commitments to yourself, then you got a lot to think about, my friend. Okay? And you got nobody else to blame but yourself. And that's when maybe you have to think about, therapy, or think about a coach. Someone that's going to kick you in the fucking ass and say, man, get your shit together. You understand what I'm saying? Change, this kind of change is going to take courage. Calling people out, setting boundaries, and holding yourself accountable is going to feel uncomfortable. There's no other way around it. But like I always tell you, discomfort equals growth. And trust me, it's going to pay off. So here's your homework that I want you to do until the next time we get together, all right? I want you to take inventory of the things that you've been tolerating in your life, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your work, or with your own self, all right? And be very direct about this, okay? I want you to write them down and ask yourself, for each one of these, what am I going to do about this? What am I going to do about the coworker that always leaves me with his work? What am I going to do about the homie or the girl or whatever that leaves me waiting at the bar for 30 minutes before when we had plans already? A half hour earlier, whatever the case might be. What am I going to do about me saying, I'm going to go to the gym next week and I still don't do it? What are you going to do about this? Maybe it's having a tough conversation with somebody. Maybe it's setting a new rule for yourself. Whatever it is, you got to have that conversation. You got to have that process, and you've got to commit to it. Because every small step you take toward raising your standards is a step toward a better, stronger, more authentic you. And that, my friends, is how you tap into the best version of yourself. All right, so that's all I got for you guys today. I really hope that you enjoyed today's podcast. I hope that if it's something that resonated with you, that you're able to take action to start making those changes in your life. Because remember, folks, you encourage what you tolerate, and you don't deserve anything less than you deserve. Okay? What do you think you deserve? Ask yourself that. And I'm going to tell you what the answer is. You deserve the best. Every single one of you deserve the best, no matter what the hell you've been through in life. Okay? If you're putting out the best, you deserve the best. Well, if you know someone that might benefit from listening to today's podcast, be sure to share with them. Remember, sharing is caring. I would love for you to leave a review for Coach Vino. That way you can help me feed the hungry algorithm. And if you or anyone you know would like to work with Coach Vino, you could visit my website, CoachVinoLLC.com. And remember, folks, if nobody else tells you, Coach Vino appreciates you. Cheers.
And express what I'm feeling in a hip-hop form, but I was born to succeed, so as long as I breathe, ain't nobody on this earth gonna crush my dreams. Yo, this might be the end of the verse, but this is just the start of a new beginning. Word.